And now the big news of the day. For the first time in over 50 years, we are en route to the moon. The Artemis II crew now into its 10-day trip in space after a successful launch just in the last 25 minutes or so. They'll take a lap around the moon and return home.
It is a long trip. This flight is a precursor and a test to set up later flight to actually land on the moon. Let's take another look at the historic moment.
3, 2, 1, booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage.
That is good stuff. The launch taking off at 5:35 our time, only 10 minutes into the launch window.
And this evening, we have team coverage for you of this historic mission. Maria Aguilera, she's at the official watch party at Space Center Houston. Matt Doherty is at Mission Control at the Johnson Space Center.
But first, let's send things over to Christian Benavides, live at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Christian.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We're just quite a moment. I mean, we felt the ground shake, and we saw as the Artemis rocket lifted off. Now the Orion capsule has to make 2 rounds around Earth before it actually heads off towards the moon. There were a couple of issues that came up as we got closer and closer to launch time, including an issue with one of the batteries on Orion's launch abort system. But that was they investigated it. They thought it may be a sensor issue, and still it went off. There was another issue with the flight termination system, and they were also watching for the weather. But ultimately, liftoff did take place. It's the first time going back to the moon in over 50 years. What an incredible moment. We were all here to witness it, and of course, it's just the beginning of a new chapter in space exploration.
New chapter indeed. Christian, thank you. In Florida tonight.
And now we go from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida to back here at home with Matt Doherty, who's at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Matt?
Yeah, Mia, we've been watching the launch from inside the Johnson Space Center's auditorium tonight. You can see some of those NASA employees sitting down in the seats there. Some are still left watching the launch and watching Artemis II, that mission as it is up in space at this moment. Here's some video of that launch from about half an hour ago. Everything appears to be going well from our vantage point right now. The Artemis II crew is currently in its first orbit around the Earth before heading off to the moon. The mission will bring the astronauts the closest to the moon any astronaut has been in more than 50 years. The mission is scheduled to last 10 days. The crew will be going the farthest any human has traveled in history. Again, everything continues to be going well at this point, and we're going to keep tabs on this situation. Stay here at Johnson Space Center and watch some of that live feed and bring you an update tonight at 10. Lynn and Mia.
Appreciate it, Matt, with the latest recap and launch info for us. Thank you.
All right, let's check in on the watch party. More than 1,000 folks at Space Center Houston with Maria Aguilera. Maria.
Yeah, this was a sold out event. I'm told 1,300 tickets were sold here, so completely sold out event. So if you weren't near the Kennedy Space Center or at Johnson Space Center Houston is the place to be. Now, we did have a mission control expert here and a flight director that were walking us step by step through the launch today, and people were shouting and waving American flags here as the launch happened. So now we're here actually joined by a family that came to watch this history and witness history together. The Bader family. How are you guys feeling after watching that launch?
Very, very, very excited to see space launch once again.
Yeah, just so impressed with all the technology, all the people involved with this, how much work it took. Like, it's just such a cool feeling to witness history with your family and just like all the work that goes into it.
How does it feel to be surrounded by so many people that are also interested in this?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, NASA's always had really good public support and everything. It's really cool to see it in person and to come and be a part of it.
And are you guys all glad that you were that launch did happen today? Because you said you had tickets for the earlier launch that was postponed, right?
Yes, it was I am so very happy to be able to see this and to come here and watch the launch.
Yeah. And now, are you going to be continuing to follow up with them in the next 10 days?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna be
we'll
on
be
that
following.
Instagram feed, whatever they got on Twitter or X, everything that they have, gonna be on the socials.
We'll be following.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. As you can imagine, everybody here is so excited to have been able to witness history here. And of course, we're going to stay here and bring you the very latest from all the reactions here from Space Center Houston tonight at 10. But for now, I'm reporting live from Space Center Houston, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News. Back to
Sarah,
you.
so very cool for those folks, Maria. And what I think about watching all this, Mia, is new generations getting this opportunity. I've been around long enough to actually have seen
this a
the
time or two.
landing a long time ago. This is phenomenal for new generations.
Maria, thanks. And folks, we have more coverage of today's Artemis mission on our free streaming app, KHOU 11 Plus. A reminder, you can download it to your TV and then watch for free.
All right, let's talk about